Unique part about being a chaplain assistant, I believe, is because the different amount of roles that you can serve into. Whereas you could serve in a striker brigade, infantry brigade, armor brigade, medical. There's really endless possibilities of where you can go. And with that, you're able to see all the different unique styles that the Army brings to the table. So far in my tenure as a chaplain assistant, I've served aviation, I've served military intelligence. This is my first time in a striker brigade, so being able to see the different branches of the Army and how they work individually is very unique and brings a lot to the table. Chaplain assistants serve basically as assistants to the unit chaplain. They help the chaplain with various administrative abilities. Although in the 21st century, as we're moving forward, chaplain assistants now have been given more responsibilities in regards to contributing to the staff. Something out here that we have been doing is something called religious area analysis, which is the chaplain assistants will work with the reports given from Atmospherics Program Afghanistan and the mosque sermon reports, and we analyze them to see what kind of religious messages are being used to the local nationals and how that plays an impact on military operations in the battlefield. Here in Afghanistan, I believe soldiers primarily can get a great deal of services. One of our big things is we focus on 3 pillars of our religious support plan. In deployment, we do add a 4th pillar. First pillar is nurture the living. And when we nurture the living, we are taking care of the soldiers and maintaining their morale and their spirituality. And we do this through worship services, through Bible studies, through hosting morale events, things that are going to keep the soldier well, both in their faith and in their morale. Because a soldier who has spiritual resilience and who has high morale is going to be able to contribute more to their work back in the operations. Second pillar that we like to focus on is care for the wounded. When soldiers are wounded, they are sent to Role 3. We have a chaplain there that will go to Role 3 to provide that spiritual care, pastoral care for the soldiers. Also, we look at the wounded soldiers, those who are having family issues, family troubles back at home. The chaplain and chaplain assistant like to be there for the soldier to help them during their deployment with whatever troubles they may be facing back home. And also, chaplain assistants will partner with the combat stress teams for traumatic event management in cases where soldiers have been exposed to devastating things, and in some cases could lead to PTSD, depression, stress, loss of sleep. We like to partner with the stress teams in order to mitigate those soldiers and make them healthy to go back to where they can contribute 100% to the fight. So, third pillar that we like to look at is honor the fallen. Honor the fallen, the chaplaincy works with the command teams when a soldier has passed away to provide the best memorial ceremony that we can in order to honor the service that that soldier has contributed to the military. Also, honor the fallen, we ensure that we are participating in dignified transfer remain ceremonies as well, and communicating with the family with our Rear D chaplain back home and ensure that they are getting the care needed at a spiritual level. And the last pillar that we focus on is operational support. So far out here, we partner with the Religious Cultural Affairs Officer of the 1st to 5th ANA, and we basically build a relationship to help one another understand the cultures and the religious aspects of both of our countries. And building that relationship helps us pass forward to both the ANA soldiers and to the U.S. soldiers that although we may be different, we are fighting for the same cause. In addition to operational support, we do, like I said, the religious area analysis, where we look at what kind of religious messages are being portrayed to the local nationals and being used, and what kind of messages are being sent out there through the mosque sermons. Definitely the plus about the chaplaincy is that we have 100% confidentiality, both chaplains and chaplain assistants. So soldiers know when they bring their problems to us that we're the only people out here that will hold true confidentiality with them. With that, we do see family problems, some stress problems, some unit-related issues, and what we do is we kind of help give them a person to talk to without that fear of their private information being put out to their commanders, to their first line leaders. And we give them that safe haven and that closed door atmosphere that they can bring the problems to us. Although we can't resolve every issue that we do come across, we are always there for that soldier to help them along through the process, and we can refer them to other agencies or services as needed, such as behavioral health, combat stress. So we also can serve as a good referral point as well. Muslim Gar hosts various amount of worship service opportunities. We do have a Christian Protestant worship service that we have every Sunday, 10 and 2200 hours. We hold a Latter-day Saints service, 1800 hours on Sundays, and we have a Catholic Mass at 1100 hours on Sundays as well. We offer a diverse worship service schedule. Unlike the beginning of the war, there's very limited assets as far as what was available. Now we have the ability to cover all faith backgrounds greatly, to include if there's a religion out there that we don't have a designated faith group leader or chaplain for, we can offer a place for them to come pray, worship, and practice their faith on their own time. Both chaplains and assistants are told that we will support any and all faith groups within our units, as it is the commander's Title 10 responsibility to do so. As of right now, the chaplaincy across the whole in the Army has Protestant chaplains, Catholic chaplains, we have Jewish chaplains, Muslim chaplains, and we do have a couple Buddhist chaplains. However, there are other faith backgrounds that exist in the Army, and it is important that we cover on those as well as needed. What we call low-density faith groups, your Hindus, your Buddhists, your Muslim, those who don't make up a large percentage of the unit, what we do is upon request, we provide them a time and a place to conduct their services. For example, a Muslim soldier requests to do a prayer service. We can give them the chapel and give them a time, and they can come and conduct their services. Another thing that we support is religious accommodations for low-density faith groups. For instance, Jewish soldiers can only eat clean food according to their faith, free of pork, and the food cannot even be prepared in a facility that have been processed pork. So what we do is we give them rations so that way they can get their own kosher meals, and the Army even has a kosher MRE that they can provide as well. So we also support them through their wear and appearance of the uniform. Sikhs, according to their religion, cannot shave their beards nor cut their hair. There is a couple cases where Sikhs have been allowed to keep their beard to a certain level and keep their hair to a certain degree as well. So we provide a lot of accommodations for those low-density faith groups to show that we are a pluralistic Army and that we support all faith denominations and that we can coexist together. I would just like to note that the chaplaincy is a combat multiplier, and although the chaplaincy is not out there fighting the fight, we do a different kind of fight, and we ensure that no soldier is left alone, and we ensure that soldiers that come to us are met with care. One thing that we like to do is, one of our goals was, we do not want Joe to come find us, we want to find Joe. So we get out there and we look for Joe, and we do our very best to ensure that every soldier in our unit knows that there is a chaplain around. If they need somebody to talk to, we will find you and we will be there for you. That's one of the important roles I think that we serve out here, is to ensure that there's no soldier that feels like they're left alone in this deployment. They can always have someone to turn to. So.